I know. It's been like 3 or 4 days since I've posted any kind of video action. Sorry about that, you guys. It's been kind of a rough weekend here on the home front. A couple of the little chillins, they had the kid flu. It always happens around this time of year. The kid flu turned into a mom flu, and then that turned into dad handling a lot of stuff, and then that turned into the dad flu, which turned into mom handling everything. And it's late Monday, and I'm trying to get back in action here. I'm kind of jacked up on some Sudafed, but it seems to be doing the trick. So anyway, welcome back, everybody. Good day to you. Glad you guys are here. I'm kind of glad to be here. I'd rather be at home sitting around, but you know, the world moves on, even when we don't feel like moving on. So that being said, I need to put my own feelings out of the way and get to moving. We left off on this 2000 Silverado two-wheel drive Canadian 1500 with a 5.3. It had a rusted out set of broken off and destroyed, damaged, sagging leaf springs. If I recall, it was this spring, the center spring on the old pack on the driver's side, which was broken, causing the vehicle to have like a lean off to one side. So we had lower ride height here, we had raised ride height on the right front because the vehicle is tilted, and since it's rigid, if something comes down, something else must go up, which means the left front and the right rear were bearing some extra weight from the vehicle. So anyway, after some tedious and troublesome extraction efforts, we were able to get the broken leaf springs out of the vehicle with minimal destruction. What's left now is I need to go ahead and scale all the rust off this axle. We've got the new springs here. By some miracle, a delivery showed up with some fasteners in it. So now I will be able to replace the front leaf spring bolts that I had to chop off and break in order to get the old springs out. So let's test fit these units real quick. Make sure that they're going to fit, no slop, no play. Let's make sure that they're long enough. And here's my old one. They appear to be long enough. That's good. I think these are grade 8s. Either way, these are the bolts for the front of the springs. I think I have everything I need to get this together. I do have some replacement, U-bolts here, but I don't know if these are gonna be too long on the threads. We can see here on the old unit that looks like the nut stopped right around here, which is good because if we transfer over to the other one, we've only got about a finger's width, maybe half an inch or so of thread left over. So I'm assuming that these are going to work. However, I only have 2. I must have misread the order and I thought they came in a card of 2 each, so I ordered 2 quantity. Well, it turns out the cards were only 1 bolt and I ordered 2 quantity, which means I only got 2 bolts. Not to fear though, I checked the parts store and they seem to have some U-bolts that are square cut that should fit. Worst case scenario, I've got to make another order and I'll have to reuse these bolts just to get the thing back together, but we shall see. First things first, let's go ahead and get the springs up in the air, mounted to the hangers, and then we'll see how it all mocks up after we descale this axle. Happening the hood.
Oh, look who that guy is.
So first off, let's pick up where we left off the other day. By the way, this did start the other day, and I did not mention, I did make a video about this particular situation. If you missed it or would like to go back and refresh yourself, just check the links in this description. There's gonna be 2 hyperlinks there, and they're gonna take you back in time to the last 2 previous videos on this particular truck. You're gonna have to go past the shameless self-promotion for the Rainman merchandising company, which is the top line of the description. Just go past that, and then you'll find the links to the other videos on this truck. See what I did there? I stuck in a moment of shameless self-promotion in order to sell my new custom fitted Rainman Raised Repairs embroidered hats. Clever, no? Anyway, hey, now that we're done with all the sales pitchy stuff, let's go ahead and get this rust removed with our needle scaler, create loud noises, and then we'll get that that U-joint right, or U-joint, that leaf spring right there bolted back up into place. I was so excited to use my words, I forgot which ones to use. Let's decrustify this unit. Loud noises. unit, let's move it on up some, and we'll get the base of the axle where the where the leaf spring actually rides. Let's clean that off. If we don't do that, then the leaf spring will not have a good foundation to ride on. And that's not okay. Okie dokes. Let's fetch this spring. I'm going to install this in a similar fashion as the removal. We're gonna go up and over using the arch of the spring pack to kind of guide it in. Then we'll give it a flip. Come on now, flip. Go. Flashlight. Okay, I think it's in. All right, looking up front, we're close to alignment there. We can see the hole in the hanger, and over here on the back side, what we need to do is make sure that this bolt right here, as it sticks out from the other side, it's able to slide into, see a little hole right down there? A little hole in the bottom. That's got or that recess fits the head of this fastener. So we just slide that, and she's in. All right, that unit is in position. Nobody move. What we need to do next here is get that primary bolt through, so we've got to line up this spring with those bolt holes. And we're gonna use one of the newer ones. I do get that this original one is reusable, but I've got enough suitable replacements where we're gonna use one of these new ones here. So all we need to do is kind of push this guy back. Now the axle is moving. Come on, a little more. Oh, it's heavy. There. Okay, now that that is located, I can come in from the back side and point that bolt in the proper direction. It will not be that actual bolt. I'll just grab another one out of the box and use that. This one is currently just aligning this assembly for ease of installation. Oh, come on. Hammer time. I will linear impact that into position here. Almost through. See right there? Good. That one's in. Let's get a nut on it so it is secure. Now we go around to the back side, give this a flip, and we can get that rear hanger bolt installed in position here. What we'll do, extract that bolt from the hanger. You guys see what we're doing here? I think you can. More hammer. Come around this side and just give it a tug. Okay, that one's through. Put the nut on it. And the spring is now secured to the chassis. There we go. Okay, back to the axle. We have a set of replacement mounting plates, and that's going to slip over the stud. I think it goes that way, and that's going to give a little bit of purchase area right here for the top part of the U-bolt. That way the U-bolt can't walk one direction or another. I have received momentarily ago these cut to fit U-bolts, and I believe these are going to be sufficient. Probably a little better than the ones that I had originally purchased. I have 4 of these and I only have 2 of the others. These are cut to fit, but dimensionally I believe they're going to be sufficient. So we're going to use these U-bolts right here. And we'll just cut them down when we're done. So what I need to do is lose the nuts and these lock washers. Well, I don't need to lose them, just need to take them off. These are for later. We're gonna pull this unit off here, that one there, and we'll drop these bolts down and then insert them in the new base plates that we also have purchased. And I think they're gonna go, I forgot, I think they go that way. All right, second U-bolt coming in. I've already removed the fasteners. Drop that guy down. Then what we'll do is we'll take our base plate right here, and that unit comes up from the bottom on these U-bolts right here. So we're gonna slide that through, slide that one through, and then all the way up until it makes contact with the axle. See that? I should probably just cut these off right now, or I should have cut them off earlier with the fasteners there and then use the fasteners to straighten the threads out, but I'll have to just do this the long way by hand. Oops, that was a slight error in judgment here. No matter, it'll just take a little bit more time. So what I'll do, I'll toss in the lock washers, get the nuts on, we'll spin the nuts down, make a little bit of torque against all this, and then we'll tighten up and chop off the excessive bolt sections. There we go. Next. Yeah, the pressure's kind of on. Feels like a Wednesday afternoon, not a Monday. A lot of things happened over the weekend. I think what killed me is I left like Friday. I left early because one of my baby girls had a play at school and I wasn't going to miss it. And because of that, there was like a work deficit happening back here. There we go. Oh, I have a cool idea. I have an idea. I know what to do. Okay, so rather than boring you by doing this by hand the whole time, I've got a cool idea. We're gonna put some lubricant on it. Watch this. This is gonna be amazing. I'm gonna use air pressure to run these fasteners all the way up. Watch this. Use the blowgun. Haha! That was easy. There it goes. Ring ring. Not very efficient, but it works. That one's not turning. Try this one. Ah, look at that. All the way up. And then this one, that one doesn't turn. Got a little dead spot in it. Hang on here. There it goes. So, pick that up, blast it. Okay, that one doesn't work very well, but I tried. Go up. Don't have enough steam. Well, regardless, we've got the bolts in position here, putting a little bit of downforce on everything, and I'll put some torque on these with a wrench, and then we can go ahead and cut these this excessive area or excessive bolt material off. We'll chop that off with a Sawzall or whatever. There we go. Okay, we need a wee bit more torque on these units, so I'll use my little ratcheting crow's foot device here just to get some tightness going. That way these bolts and everything do not, I said donut and don't at the same time. That way they do not flop around while I'm trying to chop off the excess threads. that secure. Same thing on the front up here. Next. Alright, I think that's good. Okay, loud noises again. Sawzall coming back. Let's go ahead and chop these fasteners off. I'm thinking right about here, so we'll leave about an inch. One is the loneliest number. Numero dos. Next. Done. All right, let's get a little bit more torque going here. Nice and secure like. Good. Okay, so we've made some progress on this side. This spring is in position. Let's maneuver this unit, or ourselves rather, around to this other unit down here on the floor, and we'll get that one set up on this side of the axle. Okay, second spring coming in. Ooh, heavy too. Going up. Slide it around, pick the center bolt up. We're gonna rotate, give her a flip. There we go, lined up, good. Okay, we've got our bolt and the nut kind of coming in here. That lined up nice like. Here's the nut going on the back side. Remember, we can't do the bolt from that side because there's a fuel tank in the way, so we flip this bolt around. That one's on. So now, come back around here to the back side, and we need to get a little pin to fall in the hole on the axle there, which means I need to kind of tug this axle back some. Wiggle action here. There we go. That fell in. Here is our little plate for U-joints, or the U-joints, U-bolts. There we go. Let's grab that other set of bolts and drop those down. Bolts coming in. Ran them both in 2 at a time. Drop them down, just like so. Bottom plate's ready to rock and roll. Let's get this thing started. We'll slide this up the U-bolts all the way up. And that's gonna meet the bottom of the axle right there. Good to go. 4 lock washers and 4 nuts on its way in. There we go. I'll try the air pressure method one more time to get these guys to thread. That one's gonna go. A little bit of lube and some air, and I can defy gravity. Good. Let's lubricate it. Time for air pressure. Oh, that was a good one. You guys see that? It's not a good one. Did you guys see that? Nope. It's not working. Well, I tried. Failure. I guess my slick little idea wasn't as slick after all as I thought it was. Oh well. You know, stronger than air? Anvils. I ran out of anvil. That's stupid. Well, it's not air pressure, but it's faster than just using regular flangey power. Gravity. Moving all the way up. There we go. Oh, sorry fellas, I just gave the bird to like 100,000 people. No offense, sorry. Ooh. My bolts keep twisting until they stop. Ford. Air pressure for the win. Fast forwarding. Oh, almost there, guys. We're almost there. I know it's the least entertaining part. Watching me thread down bolts is like watching paint rust. Here we go. Now we're getting some traction. Good. Okay, so we're starting to come up on some tightening torque action here. Let's get these bolts a little tight, and then we'll chop them off just like the other side. Come on. If I only had like a foot-long socket, it might be a little easier. But I do not, so wish in one hand, I guess, or whatever the saying is. Wish in one hand and turn your bolt with the other? Sure. Boring. Come on, I'm getting bored. I'm ready to leave. There we go. Okay, let's chop this thing off next. So I didn't particularly enjoy the Sawzall, so we're gonna switch this out to the rotary cutter wheel right here. I'm gonna throw the sparks away from me. And I'm hiding behind the rotor. That's where my head is. Beginning cutting now. Loud noises.
On the back. Last one to the right.
much more easier than the Sawzall. I like it. Ring, ring. Okay, a little bit of torque coming in next. This has to be done evenly. Even Steven. Get this one up here next, a little bit tighter. Okay, that unit is secured to the axle. Let's spin her around right here and we can get all the rear fasteners in the hangers. Then we can get the wheels on, let this unit down, and get everybody tight. So let me see how we're gonna do this. Pull this guy in. Come here, hanger. Seriously? I'll just hang off of it. There we go. Bolts from the back side. Got it. Beautiful. Let's get a little bit of torque on some of these units here, just to run the threads out a little bit. Get in there, wrench. Oh, wrong size. I need a 19. Okay, let's try this again with the proper sized fastener holding device. See that? Doesn't even want to thread. What is that about? I know that's the right fastener because that's the one that came with it. That's a little weird. I guess I have to put more torque on it. Anyway, let's go over here to the front one some. Bust out the 24 and get a little bit more torque on that unit. So none of these are bottomed out yet. Or the ones in the rear are not bottomed out yet. That one's also not bottomed out yet. Let me go hit the other two real quick. Circumnavigating said silvery radio. Woohoo, running into stuff. It's crazy. Okay, let's get this one tight a little bit. We're fixing to let this down soon. Okay, it's those two. Let's work on these 21s back here on the hangers real quick, like, just to take some of the slack out of them. Okay, the 19. Sneak that one in over the top right here. Ding. Wrong. Oh, I see here. We got a, what is that, a 21 nut on a 19 bolt. That's what we're doing. And why we're doing it, I don't know. That one became tight. This last one a little snug. Slippage. Okay. Now, everybody's nice and secure. Let's go ahead and lower the pull jacks that are supporting the weight of the axle. We can get these guys down. Oh, I guess they're not supporting the weight of the axle. Looks like the springs are doing that. So we'll drag these things out of here. There's one. Let's get that last one over yonder. Axle's coming down slightly. Here she comes. We'll toss the wheels on, get the weight on these springs, and then we'll hit all these fasteners with some finalized torque action. Okay, super quick fast forward. I've got the wheels back on it. Front bolts are still loose on both. Rear bolts are still loose, all four. I hit the U-bolts one more time with an impact with a torque stick on it to limit torque delivery. That's this guy right here. So those U-bolts are tightened to my satisfaction. Let's go ahead and let this truck down and get some weight on the springs. Then we can secure the rest of the suspension bolts. Coming on down, all the way down. Okay, everything should be settled now. Let's go back down below. Flashlight. Let's go back down below and get the rest of those fasteners tightened down. And we take this thing out and drive it around and see how it feels. Okay, we're at the front on the right-hand side. There's our 24, or not the 24. There's our 24. And then the wrench, gotta come in from the back here and hang on to that bolt. Okay, front one's in. Let's go around back to the back side and get the two hanger bolts next. All right, rolling around again. That one's tight. Got my wrench stuck. That was an error in judgment. Okay, that one's out. We're in tight. Let's do the other side next. Same procedure, two in the rear, one in the front. That didn't sound right, but you guys know what I meant. Okay. Coming around, coming around, coming around, coming around, coming around. There we go. Get the back one next. This is the one where these two nuts didn't want to come down all the way. Let's see if they've changed their mind. Wrench coming in on the back to hold the bolt. That one, I need to get that with a bigger gun. Let's get the top one. Battery change. Let's try it with a battery change, see what happens. Yeah, that last battery had 2 dots of power. This one has 3 dots of power. Let's try this one. Why? Okay. We'll just do this with the bigger gun. not working. I can't fit. It's not fitting. Come on, I need a universal. No, I don't. I need a thinner, less deep gun. So I'll switch it out to the pneumatic. I know this one's got the beans to at least get some torque on this thing. Let's try it this way and see what happens. Can I fit? Sure. It's gonna be messy. I'm gonna make it. Or am I? Here, I know. We'll feed this through. We'll feed that through there to accommodate the hose, like so. And there we go. Now I got a gun on it. Look at that. That's gonna work. We now have a gun, and you guys can't see a thing that I'm doing because it's dark. But we now have a gun on that unit up there. So sneak a wrench in the back side to hold the fastener. Crisscross applesauce. It's getting tight. Need my wrench back now. Ow. Alright, that one's on. Get the bottom one. Got it. Woo! That was great. Yeah. Okay, get out of here. Much more better. Okay, one more up here on the front of the spring. Grab the gun, grab the wrench, grab ourselves. I'm gonna reach back and hang on to that nut. I'm gonna hit this front bolt here with the gun. I realize our viewing window is rather limited, but you know, it is what it is here. It's not gonna work. Need the shorter socket. Okay, last attempt here to get this on and right and together. Not easy. Well, it's just a space thing, really. I do not have the appropriate space. Hit it. Wrong way. Hit it again the other way. Ah, my gun's reversing. Click. Got it. All right. That's together. Let me jump on the on the bumper again, and we're gonna listen for a clicky noise. I thought I heard it the first time we were jouncing this. Good check. That's better. Cool. I hear nata. All right, guys. So far, so good. Let's pull the rack arms out of this unit and go out and hit the road real quick, see how she drives. These springs have wreaked havoc on my hand protection. Look at that. Gloves ruined. This one too. I know I should probably change them, but I was in the moment. I was vibing in my zone, you know? Definitely in my zone. Let's get rid of that one. Swing them out. Good to go. Okay, so we're looks like we're doing a cold start on this truck because it has not run in 4 or 5 days. Let's see what she does. Beginning engine starting sequence now. Hey, no problem. Fires right up. Cold start. It's like 65 degrees out right now. Yeah, how's that for a cold start? Honks for safety. Backing out the auto. Oh, you know what? Real quick, we need to park in the same place where we parked before and recheck the ride height measurements. We did that when we started the spring job, and now that it is done, we have to follow through and recheck. So I'll grab the tape measure, sitting over there. It's the same tape measure that everyone has, along with the scuffed up front face. Everyone has this tape measure. Anyway, let's go back. We're gonna do the same thing. Bottom of the wheel, through the center cap, and we're gonna check ride height at the fender arches. We've got approximately 32.5 inches. Next one, we're looking like, this one's 33 3/8. Not horrible. The rear one, 34.5. Close. And then the left rear, we are at 34.5. So we have fixed that huge ride height discrepancy that was in the fronts and the rear. I believe the front was 1.25 inches out of balance, left versus right, and then the rears were 3/4 inch, something like that. So what had happened is, since that spring was broken, this rear was sagging down, which caused the tilt, and then this front was slightly coming up and putting extra pressure on this one to come down. That's why we had 4 different ride height measurements. And now we do not. System has been repaired. Ride height adjustment complete. Okay, quick spin around the block just to make sure that the wheels don't fall off, and we're good to go here. Fetch my safety restraint here. Click it or tick it if they see you. Mostly it's an act of self-preservation. Hey, do you guys remember that truck right there? It came in here once with a, it had a blown up radiator, and the trans cooler filled up with engine coolant, and the system was pumping coolant through the transmission. And I told the guy, hey man, you need a new transmission. And he said, no, just flush it out. So I hooked up my BG trans fluid flush machine, and I cleaned out all of the nasty and replaced the contaminated fluid, which was made out of coolant and transmission fluid, with just transmission fluid. Having done that, it seemed to have shifted again, but it clearly didn't last forever. So looks like they're putting a junkyard transmission in it for next year. Well, that's weird. Look at this. We have more line pressure. Second time around. That's a new one. Yeah, I bet that pump is garbage. It's so junk. It's so junk. Not for me. Anyways, we're gonna go out, spin this thing around the block once, up and over the bridge, you know the drill, over the tracks a couple times, and I think we are good to go unless I hear something crazy or a wheel falls off. Does that guy have trailer wheels on that truck? He did. Did you guys see that? There was trailer wheels on that Silverado, or at least they looked like trailer wheels. Anyway, wheels are tight, U-bolts are tight, shackles are tight, the hangers are tight. Everything out back's pretty tight, so I think we're good. I don't hear anything going on. We've measured the ride height. That is within specifications now, and that huge discrepancy is no longer present. I do believe that finally, after well over a week, this vehicle is complete and is free to return to the Great White North of Canada. So guys, having said all that, I do not believe I have anything more to offer you on this particular video, other than advice that when you see vehicles parked on the side of the road, move over and give them a wide berth, because you don't know what that guy's doing over there. And other than that, the only other thing I have to offer you is a big thank you for watching this video. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. If in fact you did enjoy this video, please feel free to let me know about that in the comment section down below. Do not forget to tap that like button while you're down there, and most importantly, have yourselves a fantastic day. See you guys later. End of video, in Chevrolet, end of everything repair in transmission.